Hello, it's me, Barbalicious. How you guys doing? So today, I gotta get down real low because I got a different angle going on. Oh, crazy. My face is really red because I have no makeup on. I'm going all natural today. So, you know, since we're bound to be in our houses for the next couple of days, weeks, I guess I got another week or so to go. But we'll see. So I am doing roast beef dinner with some kind of potato and veggies, I think, but I'm gonna do Yorkshire pudding. So I've only done this about 3 or 4 times, and all of them have been successful. So we'll try again and see what happens. So what I have is my oven on 400 right now. I'm preheating it. So once I hear the beep, 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 I'm gonna put in this pan. You put in your muffin tin, but put it underneath another cookie tray, because if anything boils over or whatever, it's gonna catch it because you're using oil. So you're gonna heat this up. So you gotta get this like smoking hot. And some of them say to just put this in the way it is, get the pan smoking hot, then you add your oil to it. Some say put the oil in, get the oil smoking hot, blah, blah. I'm gonna do it where I'm gonna put the oil in it. So for my recipe, because I've condensed it down because I don't want to do a big recipe. So I'm only going to do it says about 7, but I have 6 and they're jumbo pan. So I'm hoping that this is going to work, that I'll get 6 out of here. But if I get 5, I'm okay with it. So it says that you're supposed to put 1 ounce of oil per tin. So I've got 6 ounces of oil here. So I'm just going to kind of pour it out evenly between each one. And I'm just guessing about 1 ounce, and then I'll go back because obviously it's not. I have a little bit of oil here, so I'll just add a little bit more to each one. Just evenly do it, you know, whatever. If you can do it better than me, then all the power to you. So there you go. So I got that in there. So I'm just gonna wait for my oven to go beep, 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 beep. And then I'll take this, put it in there, and then I'm gonna preheat it for, you know, 5-10 minutes or so. So right now I'm gonna measure out my ingredients. And I've done this both ways. I've done it where I've done the ingredients, let it sit and rest for an hour. I've done the ingredients and then used it within, you know, minutes. So either way, it's always worked out for me. So depending on, you know, what you do is how you do it. So to do this, to give me, I'm hoping it'll give me 6. It says it'll give me 7, but who's to say? Is 3 eggs. I'm gonna throw my eggs in there. And I'm gonna give these a little whisk. And the thing about this too is you don't want any lumps in it. Like this is the one where you're gonna whisk and whisk and whisk and whisk and whisk. Because you don't want lumps. You want it to be very, 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 very smooth. Very smooth. If you didn't get it, very smooth. Okay, so I got my 6 eggs. 160 milligrams of milk or water, whatever you want to use. So I'm just going to change my thing here to milligrams. Then I make sure it's at a 0, and I've got a bowl on here so it measures at 0, so it's not weighing the bowl, right? So I'm going to do 169 grams. I'm going with milk. You can even do half and half. Like if you want to do half milk, half water. You know, whatever. Water's cheaper, of course. So, oh, a little bit over. Oh, I went to 170. Oh well. So I'll do that, whisk that together. So you kind of want to try and do like your wet ingredients together and then add the dry ingredients afterwards. Just because. So now I'm going to change this to grams because I'm now going to add flour to this. So I need to add 49 grams, or 90, sorry, 94 grams of flour. So we'll just go bit too much. 94, I'm at 100. And for, I'm gonna do about 100 because I have wet ingredients in here. Some of the flour will stick, so I gotta make up for that. So I'm gonna go with 100 just so I make up for my grams. I gotta get this bowl to go back to 0, which I did. Now I'm gonna add 7.5 grams of salt. So I'm just gonna add a little bit, just do a little bit at a time. Fill your bowl to 7.5, 3, 4, I feel like Gold Rush. How much gold you got in the bowl today? 7, it's not going to 7.7, 7, nope, and then it jumped to 8, didn't do the point, oh well. We'll add that to the bowl. Okay, so now you see like there's still a bunch of flour in there, so that's why I added a little bit of extra. So now I'm just gonna mix this until there's no lumps, because you can see like there's lots of lumps right now as I'm stirring it, and I do not want that. I want this to be smooth sailing. So I'm just gonna mixy. And you could use like a blender or one of those machines too, but this works just as good. What I'm doing, and then it gets rid of my little butterfly arms too. Maybe, hopefully. I just wish when you laughed you got a 6-pack. Wouldn't it be awesome? The more you laugh, the more of a 6-pack you got, the skinnier you got. Like you got some ribs. Like, oh, that'd be awesome. So awesome. Okay, so I've got this. So it is smooth sailing. There's no lumps in here. This is awesome sauce. So now I'm just gonna set this aside. I'm gonna put it over here and ignore it. Leave it at room, just keep it at room temperature. It's all good. Still waiting for my oven to preheat. So my oven preheats and goes beep, beep, beep. I'll throw this pan in, let it heat for about 5 minutes or so. And then I'll take it out. And then you quickly, when it's really, really hot, you quickly divide this in. And that's why I got a bowl with a sprout on it. Or if you have a measuring cup, to put it all into a measuring cup. And you pour really fast, boom, 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 boom. Stick it back in the oven and you cook it in there for about 15 minutes. And then you're gonna lower the heat. Do not open the door. It's very important. Once you put these in the oven, do not open your door. Put your light on. So you're gonna cook them for about 15 minutes, and you'll see when you look in the thing, they'll puff up. They'll be nice and puffy. And then you're gonna turn it down to 350 and continue cooking for about another 5 minutes or so. Like altogether, it's about 20-25 minute thing. And then they'll get golden brown, and you'll see that they'll sink a little bit, like a little hole in the middle. That's what you want. Perfect, right? But you want them to scoop up, make big, and then they'll sink back in, and that's where they get the little hole. So that's what I'm going for. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna do that, wait for it to cook, and then get other stuff ready, I guess. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Okay, see you in a bit. So my muffin tins are in there cooking. There's still about another 5 minutes or so on, and I set my timer for 10 minutes. So here's my roast that I'm going to season up. I've got a dry rub here. All I did was I did quite a bit of salt, because salt that's where you get like the crispiness on it and stuff when you're cooking it, and it just brings out flavor. It's really, really good. It's the only time that I add a lot of salt to my meat is when I'm doing a roast. So I've got salt, garlic powder, and Montreal steak spice. Those are the only seasons that I use when I'm doing my roast. You can do what you want, but this is mine. So I generally, like, I load this thing up. I turn it upside on its side, and I make sure like everywhere gets it. Some people even add coffee and stuff to this. I'm not into that kind of stuff. I know people are. I've never, like, I shouldn't say I'm not into it. I've never tried it. I've never tried putting coffee in my spices and stuff, because I'm not a coffee person. I don't drink coffee, so I don't see why I would like coffee in my baking or my food. But whatever. So there, see how I loaded it all up, and it took just about all the spice. And there's a little bit left in the bowl, like so. So basically, like, taken all the spices off the plate and put it right onto the meat. Like it's all covered. So I'm just gonna let this sit on the counter out here till my Yorkshires are cooked, and then once my Yorkshires are cooked, then I'll put the roast in. So I'll just clean up my hands and get ready to do the Yorkshire puddings. So my timer's gonna go off in about 1 or 2 minutes here. So I'm just gonna grab it now and pull it out. So this is where I'm gonna work really fast. So my thing's at 400, I got my stuff here ready. I'm gonna pull this out. And you can smell it because it's been in there for about 10 minutes. So as soon as you add it to this, it's gonna sizzle up. It should anyways. You can hear it sizzling. So I'm just gonna go through. You wanna fill them all the way almost to the top. Evenly distribute throughout. So mine are about halfway filled. And now I'm going to quickly put them back in. And there you go. Voila, done. So I'm just going to set my timer again for about 15 minutes. And then I'll turn it down to 350 and let it go for another 5 or so minutes. But I'll see if I can show you in the window here what they look like when I'm doing the change of the timer and that, so you kind of see what you're going to look for. But if I can't do it, then I don't know. But you just gotta figure it out, I guess. Okay, here's the Yorkshire puddings. Some of them are bigger than others, but I'm now gonna turn it down to 350 and continue cooking for another 5 minutes. Now I'm just gonna prep because it's a little too early to start cooking supper, but I've got potatoes cut and in water waiting to just turn on to boil them. And I'm just gonna prep everything so that way when it's time to cook, it's like boom, 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 you're done to go. If you can prep ahead of time, great. If not, then you can do it as you're doing it too. It doesn't really matter. So first I'm going to do a tomato and onion little salad here, because I got these tomatoes here that I need to use up. So I'm just gonna cut. I'm using a little knife, I don't know why. That was silly on my part. So, just gonna cut these like so. And then do them in chunks. Throw them in a bowl. Like so. So as soon as the Yorkshires come out, I'm gonna stick my roast in. And I have it in a roasting pan, seasoned up and ready to go. And I'm gonna cook it, I'm gonna start cooking it at 425, just to get it like roasted. So it's gonna be like, it'll brown. And then I turn it down to about 375, 400. And I cook it with that size of roast, probably maybe within an hour. Because it's about like 15 minutes per pound. That's what you cook your roast for. But I cook my roast so it's like rare, medium well. I don't cook it so it's shoe leather. I cook mine so it still says, "Hello, I'm here to eat with you." Because I like rare meat, rare beef. So, but you cook yours the way you want to cook yours. I do mine that way, and everybody in my family likes it that way, so that's how I cook it. So I just added tomato and onion to it. Add some salt, some pepper. You can even add thyme and rosemary to it. Basil too would be good. Mozzarella cheese. Red onion, instead of using white onion, you can do red onion too. So, but I'm just gonna use white onion because that's what I got on hand. I do need to go grocery shopping. Here, I need fresh veggies, I need fresh stuff. Like I got stuff, but I'm getting low on my fresh stuff, so I'm gonna have to make a trip here the next couple days downtown. So anyways, I got a bag here of, when we had baked potatoes here a couple nights ago. It's a mixture of green onions, cheese, and I think there might be no, there's no bacon in here. So just green onion and cheese. So I'm just gonna throw that on there because I'm gonna throw this in with my mashed potatoes tonight when I cook my mashed potatoes. I'm going to make them like a baked potato. So all you do for that, I'm just going to move the cutting board over so you got a clean surface. With mashed potatoes, you can do whatever you want under the sun, like dress it up however you want. There's numerous ways you can do it. So I'm gonna do it like a baked potato. So I'm gonna cut up a little bit more green onion here. I'm gonna shred some more cheese, and I got bacon left over from breakfast this morning, and I'm gonna add to it too. So yes, I'll have bacon in there, and then I'm gonna add, when I mix it up, I'm gonna do butter. And most people put like butter or cream or milk, stuff like that. But I'm just gonna do butter and sour cream to it. And then you have everything you do in a baked potato. Sometimes I used to do it because Kaylee's favorite was ranch dressing in her mashed potato. But Kaylee no longer lives here anymore. Well, she does, but she doesn't. So I don't cook for her anymore, for her stuff. So, and I know she's not gonna like it when she sees this, but but, so I'm just gonna cut up some more cheese here. Throw it on the bowl, or throw it in here, and I've got like green onions. And then like I'll add the margarine and the sour cream to it, and salt and pepper too, right? So I'm gonna do up a little bit of bacon bits here. Some of the bacon that I have left over from this morning, I'll make it into bits. Why is my cutting board so uneven? Oh my gosh, don't like that. There we go. So just choppy, rough chop it all up. Just like so. Throw it on the bowl, so that's ready. So when I've got to do my mashed potatoes, boom, throw it in, done. Salad is marinated on the stove. As for another vegetable, I haven't really figured it out yet if I'm going to go with some corn or if I'm going to cut up some cauliflower or something. But I think I might just do up some corn. Oh, I don't know. I got a bit of salad there too, so we'll see. But there we go. My Yorkshire should be coming out of the oven now. So just a second. The two that were really big have now sunk down, and the rest of them have all popped up. But they're still not really golden brown to what I want. They're still a bit pale looking with a tinge of gold. So I'm just gonna let them cook for another few more minutes, but I'm gonna keep a very close eye on them because they're looking delicious. Just do not open the door. Okay, so I've had it cooking for another few minutes. Look at it, and I can see that they're getting browner on the one side there, so I am going to open the door, and I'm going to take a peeky, and I'm going to say I'm going to take them out, I think. Just took them out of the oven. Very happy with them. That's Yorkshire pudding right there. So I'm just going to let them sit in here and cool, and I'm going to put my roast, use my roast in my pan. Got a little bit of water in the bottom of it, and I'm just going to stick it in the oven and cook it up and show you what it looks like when it's all done and ready to go. Okay, so my roast is cooked. I've got it sitting on the cutting board cooling. I'll let it set for about 10-15 minutes before you start carving into it. My potatoes are cooked, so I'm going to smash those. I got corn cooking over here. I made a little bit of a gravy because Ryan likes gravy with everything. So all I'm going to do is just start smashing these potatoes like so. I'm smashed like that. And then I'm going to add some margarine or butter, whatever you have. And then I'm going to add sour cream. If you don't want to add sour cream, you don't have to. I just do because that's what I like on my baked potato. You can even add salsa to this too. And then I'm going to add all this here, the cheese and the green onions and the bacon. You can even do broccoli, you can do cream cheese. There's so many things you can add to your mashed potatoes to make them yummy and delicious. So I'm just going to stir that up. And then I'm just going to wait for I'm just going to rest the meat. Got this stirred up. It's ready to go. Put the lid on it. Set it over here warm. So I'm just gonna let the roast rest for a bit, and then I'll carve it up, and then we'll be ready to eat. And I'll show you what the plate looks like.